Hi folks, I'm Lee Jensen if you don't know me, and today we're going to go through the second video of Plasma Art and the Story. So the first one, the video did well. It's not doing well on eBay, and part of that's my problem. I made the top on it really big, so shipping is insane. We must have got a large item surcharge on it. If it doesn't sell, I'm going to cut that off real nice. We'll throw it back up there. So here's a link to the first video, and the address to the eBay auction is in the description of that. I'm going to do a little series on plasma art and a story. My son suggested it, so we're going to try it. So what I'm going to do, let the plasma machine operate. I'm going to tell you a story, and then we're going to have a piece that I auction off on eBay when we're done. Hopefully this one's better suited for the eBay auction than the first one was. When I was in my early 20s, was riding colts, a lot of race horse. I wasn't a jockey, but I was an exercise rider, weighed about 130 pounds. One day, it rained at the racetrack, so they closed the track down because they don't want you messing up, poking holes down through the surface of the racetrack when it gets muddy, chopping it all up. So they shut it down, and now I had pretty decent work ethic, so I was still trying to figure out where I could go make my money, and I had a couple outside horses over at a friend's house, and he had a barn and a round pen and all that, and they were going, I was just starting these colts. They were going pretty good. I'd learned a lot. His name was Ed Workman, and he was an awesome 5-event cowboy, was such a patient man. I've seen like rough stock guys that are not. He was so neat to work with the colts. I learned so much from him. But anyway, he was gone. It was muddy out there. I should have never done it. I was just kind of being greedy and trying to get my day money off of them. I was going to give an honest ride, and it ended up costing me a lot. I take out this old colt. He's been just going like a dream. And take him out there. The round pin's got mud in the bottom of it and whatever. Smooch him off, let him gallop without me being on him, and whatever. Everything's fine, just like regular, and so I'm not real concerned about it. So I bring him in, get on him, walk around a little bit, jog him off. When I jog him off, the mud starts splashing him, which it had already splashed him when we loped around there, but I guess it was different with me on his back. He gets to bucking, and he just keeps getting higher. He'd rear and jump and rear and jump. And I thought, okay, I need to get off of him next jump because he's going to flip over backwards. Well, I was one too late. He just jumped his ass in right out from underneath him. I couldn't get away, fell back, just crushed my leg. So Ed's not there, nobody there. My leg is like bent over. The first thing I do, because it's so hard to look at, I just reach down and straighten it out. And I just have to wait, and he run around for a while, and then he calmed back down. Luckily, I was real afraid that he was going to run over the top of me, but he didn't. And so I'm sitting there. Finally, I hear Ed's truck come in. And Ed, a super funny man, he had a bad lisp, and I think it was something like the boy named Sue, like Johnny Cash. He was so tough, and he had that lisp. And so I'm two-finger whistling, just like loud as I can, Ed, Ed. So finally, like I hear he's coming. What's the matter, boy? He's talked real slow. I can't even mimic his lisp. But what's the matter, boy? I said, I broke my leg. Are you sure? I said, yeah, it's been over. It's broke. What do you want to do? I was like, I guess call an ambulance. I don't know. Well, that'll cost you a bunch. What do you think if we just put you on a piece of plywood and set you in the back of the truck and we'll haul you to the hospital? And I said, man, if you don't mind doing that, that sounds great to me. So he gets this neighbor boy. This boy's pretty big. And they get me loaded into the back, and I'm on a 4x4 sheet of plywood. It's not a full sheet. But Ed has a gooseneck hitch in the back. So, like, I'm on the back. We didn't go up over it. I'm out on the back. I'm almost to the tailgate. And he has this boy there to kind of watch me and make sure I'm not going to fall out. So we cruise along. He gets me to the hospital in Weatherford, Texas. And they bring me in. They're super nice. They're trying to cut my boot off down the side seam where I can have it repaired if I want. And when they pull, it's just it it hurts like hell. And I didn't care. They were cheap boots. They were knockoff ropers, and they were just cheap. So I said, Ed, you just cut that boot right through the arch, just so they can pull it off like a tennis shoe. So he whips out his pocket knife that's probably razor sharp, and he heads over there to my boot, and the nurses are just like, sir, you can't do that. Ed's 72 or something at that time. Never loses forward motion. He just walks right up, puts that tip under the boot, cuts it all the way down the toe, pulls it right off, and I was like, thank you so much. So anyway, they get all that. I get in a hospital room. The next hilarious thing is, that night, Ed brings me food, okay? It comes, he's got it in a paper bag. It's a cheeseburger and fries and 2 Coors Lights. Bottles of Coors Light, and he'd rolled the paper bag down, and he just brought it in, right? And so I would eat what I could of that burger, the fries, and I could get about a beer and a half down. I was on the morphine and stuff, and I'd go to sleep. So when I'd feel myself getting sleepy, I would pour the other half of that beer into my urinal, put the cap on both bottles, put it back in that paper bag, roll it down, and throw it away. This goes on for 5 or 6 days. They're waiting on the swelling to go down. I don't have any insurance. They're not working real hard on me. And every day, Ed's bringing me this same meal. So we finally, the swelling goes down. They get a cast on it and everything. And the nurse comes in and says, Mr. Jensen, we think you're ready to leave, but we just need to do a quick test. And I said, okay. She says, we need to get a urine specimen from you. And I was like, I start putting 2 and 2 together now. I don't say anything, so I give her a urine specimen. Comes back, she's like, no, it was all good. You know, we're going to check you out today. So I ask her, I go, what were you looking for in that urine sample? She goes, we measure all the fluids that you take in every day. And we measure how much that you expel into the urinal. And she said, your numbers are way off. We just thought you were really dehydrated, but you're not. And you're fine, so you're going to get to go home. And I just laughed because I didn't know that they did that. And it was hilarious to me that, I mean, because they're getting the extra fluid of me drinking the beer and a half a day. And then I'm pouring the half a beer straight into that urinal. And so it had them thrown way off. I lived, obviously, I'm here. Hang around and check out what this piece looks like that we're going to pull off the table. You know how this works. Close your eyes. So it's raw steel, unpainted. I didn't even knock the dross off on the back. It's got some rough spots on it, but it just is what it is. It's about just under 20 inches tall, under 16 inches wide. And right here, I left this open because I'm going to try and do a customized plate for whoever buys it. I'll put a name in there, a ranch name, something, and just have a little fun with it. Anyway, I really appreciate you coming by, watching this video. If you're here at the end, click that subscribe, hit the bell if you want to see what the next one is that comes through. I hope that one's pretty cool. We're going to venture away from the Western theme. That's not all I've done all my life. And I hope you make it back here to visit with us again. Thank you much.